Okay. Today our topic is demand forecasting methods. So what are the methods to estimate the future demand for a product? The demand in the demand forecasting methods, the three types of demand forecasting methods are, that is the first one is opinion polling method, statistical method, and third one is a other methods. So in opinion polling method, the first method in a opinion polling method is survey method. It is a survey method. So the opinion polling method, that means to take the opinion of the customer about a particular product. So what are the taste and preference? The customers are ready to purchase the product at a given price or not. So this type of data is collected from the buyers directly, that is called as a survey method. So in this survey method, the survey method is another divided into two types, as a first one survey of buyer's intention, second one Salesforce opinion method. First one survey of buyer's intention. Survey of buyer's intention means that is to collect the opinion of from all the customers. To collect the opinion from all the customers is called as a survey of buyer's intention. So in this survey of buyer's intention, the customers are the ultimate decision makers. Customers are the ultimate decision makers. So we collect the information from the customer. So depending upon the customer opinion, that is to estimate the future demand for a product. So that is in the survey of buyer intentions. This survey of buyer's intention is another divided into two methods. The first one is census method and second one is sample survey method. First method is also called as a total enumeration method. This census method is also called as a total enumeration method. In this method, if the company wishes to elicit the opinion of buyers, is called a census method. That is in this method, that is to collect the opinion of each and every customer of a company. So it is very costly and as well as a time consuming. It takes time for collecting the data from each and every customer. So second method is a sample survey method. So in this sample survey method, that is if the company has no time, that is to collect the data from each and every customer, and as well as that is the if the company is not ready, that is to spend the amount on this survey method. So in these situations, that is the company selected the sample survey method. So in this sample survey method, the company collect the data from a selected group of a customers who can represent the whole population. So by this method to collect the opinion of a customer and estimate future demand. So that is the first method. Survey method is that is divided into survey of buyer's intention and Salesforce opinion. First one survey of buyer intention is another divided into census method and sample survey method. So the second method is a Salesforce opinion method. The Salesforce opinion method, salesmen means that is the people who can in contest touch with the main and large buyers of a circular market. So Salesforce means that is a sales representatives. Salesforce means that is a sales representatives are the salesmen, that is the sales peoples are those who can in constant touch with the main and large buyers of a circular market. The sales force is capable of assessing the likely reaction of customers of their territories quickly given the company's marketing strategy. They give the company's marketing strategy because the sales force are they are the direct touch with the customers. For example, if you take as a sales representatives, so sales representatives means that is a they sell the product door to door. Door to door selling is occurred by the help of a sales representative. So by this process they are directly contact with the customer, and as well as they know about what is the taste and preference or what is the reaction of a customer about our product. So this type of data is available at the Salesforce. So by this Salesforce opinion method, that is the company collect the information from a Salesforce and take the decision and estimate the future demand for a product. So in this method, that is the decision makers are the Salesforce. By the help of the Salesforce, that is the company implement the decision because they know about what is the reaction of a customer about our product. So the company follow the decision of a sales force and it implement in the organization and estimate the future demand for a product. So that is the second method is a sales force opinion method. So that is in a survey method. The two types of methods are, first one is survey of buyer's intention and sales, second one is sales force opinion method. So in this survey method, that is to collect the opinion from the public. With the help of this opinion collection, that is to estimate the future demand for a product. And the second type of the method in a demand forecasting is statistical method. Statistical method. In this method, that is to estimate the future demand for a product by the help of a statistical expressions. By the help of the statistical and mathematical expressions to estimate the future demand for a product, that is called as a statistical method. For forecasting the demand in long run, statistical and mathematical methods are used for forecasting the demand in long run. That is, mainly the statistical methods are very helpful for long run demand forecasting. And in this statistical method, the statistical methods are another divided into trend projection method, and moving averages method, exponential smoothing, barometric techniques method, simultaneous equation method, correlation and regression method. So these are the different type of the methods in a statistical method. The statistical methods are another divided into different types as a trend projection method, moving averages method, time series analysis. So these are the different type of a statistical methods. So in this statistical method, the first method is a trend projection method. So trend projection method. These are generally based on past sales pattern. The trend projection method is mainly depending upon the company's past data. That is, a company's past data is very helpful for estimating the future demand for a product in a trend projection method. These methods are dispensed with the need for costly market research. These methods are dispensed with the need for costly market research because the necessary information is already available in company files. In this, there are 5 main techniques in this method, in this trend projection method. That is, each and every company maintain its files. So in the files, that is, the past data is available. For example, if you want to estimate a future demand, so the information what you need for estimating the future demand is, that is, the past 2 years data is necessary, or past 3 years data is helpful for estimating the future demand. In these situations, that is, the company past data is helpful for estimating the future demand. So that is, with the help of this information, that is to estimate the future demand for a product. The trend projection method is based upon the company's past data. That is, what is the last year sales, what is the company's last year sales, or what is the company's 4 years back sales. So this type of data is helpful for estimating the future demand for a product by the help of a trend projection method. So when comparing to other methods, the trend projection method is very easy because that is the there is no need to spend the money. There is no need to spend the money for demand forecasting because the past data of a company is already available in the files of a company. And so these trend projection methods, there are 5 types of trend projection methods. First one is trend line by observation method. Trend line by observation method. This method is easy and quick. Actual sales data on a chart, by plotting the actual sales data on a chart and then estimating just by observation. That is trend line by observation. That is the to observe the past data trend lines. That is to estimate the future demand. So in this type of demand forecasting methods, the past data which is available in the company files, so this past data is plotted on the graph or a chart. So by extending these lines, that is to estimate the future demand for a product. That is, by extending the lines to estimate the future demand for a product, that is called as a trend line by observation. For example, if you take as a past data, if you plot the past data on the graph, as a first year sales is 10,000 units, and second year increase as a 15,000, and third year increase as a 20,000. So by observing the past data, as that is the increasing of sales is occur in the last 3 years as a 5,000. So automatically you estimate as a next year demand estimation is increases as 5,000. So by extending the line in the chart, so this is called as a trend line observation. So the trend line observation is, that is by the help of a past data to observe, by observing the past data to estimate the future demand. And second method in a trend projection method is least squares method. Least squares method. Certain statistical formulas are used. Available data by the help of a available data, it is assumed that there is a proportional change in the case the trend line is linear form. This is the least square method. So least square method is, it is a certain statistical formulas are used for statistical formulas are used, which are are used in the files of a past data of a company. That is certain statistical formula which are helpful for demand forecasting. We use the past data, and it is assumed that there is a proportional changes occur in the past data. So that with the help of this past data, that is to with the help of this past data least squares to estimate the future demand. So for estimating the future demand, S is equal to X plus Y into T. S as a future sales. What is the future sales occur is equal to X and Y are a past data, and T as a year number. As a, if you want a third year data or fourth year data, or if you want to estimate the third year or fourth year, so the type of the year number is taken as a T. That is a X sales is equal to X and Y as a past data, as a past 1 year and 2 years data. For example, that is a, if you want to, if the past data is the past 1 year and 2 years is available, so X and Y is taken as a past 1 year data and first year data and second year data, and T is the, what is the, if you want to estimate the third year, so T is take as a 3, and if you want to estimate the fourth year data, as a, the T is considered as a 4. So this type of demand forecasting is called as a least squares method. And the second type of, and the next type of the method is a time series analysis. Time series analysis. So this time series analysis is, that is to estimate the future demand for a product past data, but you consider the what are the changes occur in a environment. That is to consider the what are the major components which are affected for estimating the demand. So in this method we also used the past year data, but at the same time we consider the major components which are affected the demand for a product. So those major components are, first one, trend. It is also called as a long-term trend. It is a result of basic development in population, capital formation, technology. It is a decisive factor in long-range forecast. That is a trend, means that is a long-term trend. So long-term trend results, the basic development is occur in a population. There is a capital formation and technology. So that is the, there are different changes are occur in these all factors as the population changes depending upon a long run. For example, if you take a one village or a city, the population is 1 lakh, but automatically after 2 years or after 5 years or after 10 years, the population increases as well as decreases. That is the changes are occur in the population. And the capital formation. So the capital formation also changes in a long run, and technology also changes. That is a technology we already discussed. That changes in technology means, that is the one of the best example is a typewriting machine and a computers. So that is the, by changing technology we are moved towards the computers. So this type of changing technology is also one of the changes in a long term trend. So that is by the help of these all factors changes, that is a, for estimating the future demand, that is to consider this type of the trends, that is in the trend the different type of factors, the technology, populations and the capital formation. So there are different changes are occur in these all factors. So depending upon this, that is the demand for a product also changes. That is a, if you take as a 20 or 40 years back, the demand for typewriting is very high, but at the present there is no demand for the typewriting machines. So like that, if the trend changes automatically, the demand for demand estimation, if you want to estimate the future demand of a computers after 50 years or after 20 years, what is the future demand for a computers? So in this demand estimations, that is after 20 years, that is if the after 20 years, that is the computers are disappear, or the new technology is implemented in the environment. So automatically in these situations, the demand forecasting is very critical, that because any changes are occur after a 20 years or 40 years. So that is for estimating the future demand, that is to consider the trend. Cyclic trend. It is a screen in the wave-like movement of a sales. Wave-like movement of a sales. This is related to business cycle in economy. There is a cyclic trend is depending upon the business cycle in economy, such as inflation or recession is occur. In inflation, price of the product goes up and demand slows down. So that is the in cyclic trend, that is one of the factor, that is for estimating the future demand is to consider about a cyclic trend. So cyclic trend means, that is if you take as a business life cycle, or in the cycle of an economy, business cycle in economy. So if you observe the business cycle in economy, that is inflation and or recession is occur and boom stage is occur. So different type of stages are changes from time to time. So for estimating the future demand, that is first of all you consider, that is the business after, if you want to estimate the future demand, what is the demand after 4 years. So after 4 years, that is the what is the business cycle in the economy, what is the position of business, what is the position of a business, that is the after 4 years its position is in inflation, boom, recession, or that is at maturity stage. So depending upon this stage, that is to estimate the future demand. Example, inflation price of the product goes up, but the demand slows down. So in these situations, the demand for the product decreases. So that is for estimating the future demand, to consider this component also. Next one is, that is a seasonal trend. Next major component is seasonal trends. So different seasons, like as a summer, winter, spring. So these are the different seasons. So depending upon the season, the demand for the product also changes. Demand for the product also changes. For example, if you take as a, that is a sweaters or the woolen cloths. Woolen cloths demand is high in winter when comparing to summer season. Or the cotton cloths demand is more in summer when comparing to other seasons. So like that, if you want to estimate the short-term demand for a product, that is if you want to estimate the what is the future demand, or what is the demand in summer to our particular product. So for estimating this type of demand, that is to consider the season. The seasonal trend is helps in within years sales movement. The seasonal components are weather factor, holidays and festivals also. So that is in seasons, not only the three seasons, different type of other seasons are, that is the festivals of a country's particular festivals and holidays. So these all also, that is if you take as a, in some months there are more holidays that occur, but in some months there is no holiday, that means only Sundays are considered. So depending upon these situations, that is the demand for the product changes, that is the If more holidays are arise at a particular month, automatically the demand, that is a sales occur when comparing to other months as a very less. So this type of factors are also considered for estimating the future demand, that is seasonal trends. Next one is erratic trend. Erratic trends results from the sporadic occurrence of strike, riots, and so on. So these are all called as a erratic trend. So erratic trends means there is a sudden changes. Sudden changes by the help of the sudden changes, that is the demand estimation is critical. For example, sudden earthquake, floods, that means environmental, if any type of environmental disaster is occur, automatically the customers containing very less income, so the demand for the product decreases. Demand for the product decreases. Or sudden strikes, bunds, lockouts, so these are also decreases the demand for the product. That is, if you want to estimate the future demand, that is, if you want to estimate what is the next year demand for a product, so you don't know about these all factors. That means the you don't know about the information, or you have no information about, that is, there is a strike, lockout, or band, or any disasters in a environment. So that, but for estimating the future demand, that is, you consider these factors are also, that is the, these are the major components in a, the major components in a time series analysis are for estimating the future demand, to consider the what is the trend, and what is the cyclic trend, seasonal trend, and erratic trend. So for estimating this by this method, the future demand, year Y is equal to T as a trend, C as a cyclic trend, S as a seasonal trend, and erratic trend. So that is the, by the help of these all, it gives a Y as a next year. That means the, if you want a particular year, what is the demand for a particular year. The next type of a method is trend projection method is moving averages method. Moving averages method. This method consider the average of past events determine the future events. Average of the past events. So already we discussed, that is the trend projection method means it is statistical method, means it is completely depending upon the past data, and the particularly the trend projection method is completely depending upon the past data. So in this moving averages method, to consider the average of past data which determine the future, which determine the future demand. So for example, if you want, that is the fourth year, that is the company's fourth year demand forecasting, it is equal to first year plus second year plus third years by 3, that is the average of 3 years data. The average of a 3 years data which give as a future years demand forecasting, future years demand estimation. So the type of the moving years average is considered as a future years demand estimation. And next method is exponential smoothing. Exponential smoothing, it is used for short run forecast. For short run forecast, it is an improvement over moving averages method. It is also, that is the some improvement from the moving averages method, that is to develop a exponential smoothing method. Given variables in recent times are given higher weightage, and the values of a given variable in distant past are given relatively lower weightage for further processing. That is in exponential smoothing, it is the development from a moving averages method. So in this exponential smoothing, when comparing to moving averages and exponential smoothing method, that is in moving averages method, that is to take as a past year's average which is considered as a future year's demand, which is considered as a future year's demand. So that is the, in some situations it does not give the correct information. So to develop after moving averages methods, that is it also containing some drawbacks and disadvantages. So we developed the exponential smoothing method. So this, in this exponential smoothing method, that is it is also considered as a like as a moving averages method, but it gives preference to the recent years. That is the give preference to last year when comparing to before 4 years or the past 4 years or the 5 years. If you want to take as a average of past 4 years or a 5 years, but you give importance or give more weightage to the last one, give weightage to the past recent year as a last year when comparing to that is the last 5 years. So that type of weightage is given. That is a weightage is given, that is called as a exponential smoothing. That is in distant spots are given relatively lower weightage for further processing, but the higher weightage is given to recent times. So in this method, that is ST plus 1 is equal to CST plus 1 minus C into SMT. In this, C is considered as a smoothing constant. So it is constant. Higher weightage is given to the most information, recent information. That is a C is smoothing constant, and to this smoothing constant, the higher weightage is given to the most recent information. Most recent information. But the C varies from between 0 and 1. ST plus 1 is exponential smoothed average for a new year. It is the exponential smoothed average for a new year. ST is actual data in the most recent past. Most recent past actual data. SMT is most recent smoothed. So this is the with the help of exponential smoothing, that is to estimate the future demand for a product by the help of a mathematical expression as a ST plus 1 is equal to CST plus 1 minus C into SMT. So that is the in a statistical method. The first method is a trend projection method. So in this trend projection method, we already discussed different type of methods as a trend line by observation, moving averages, the exponential smoothing, and time series analysis. So the second method in a statistical method is a barometric techniques method. Barometric techniques method. In this method, one set of data is used to predict another set. That is, in this method, one set of data is used to predict another set. For demand for cable TV is linked to number of new houses. That is the demand. If you want to estimate the future demand for a cable TV, that is a cable connection, that is, it is linked to number of new houses occupied in a given area during the year. That is, if more and more houses are occupied in a given year, automatically the demand for the cable TVs increases. So that is it is interlinked for estimate one set of data. That is one set of data is new houses data is used to predict the cable TV's demand forecasting. Cable TV's demand forecasting. And like that, if the TV's purchasing or TV sales increases, automatically cable connections demand increases, because that is the by purchasing the TV, that is each and everyone is ready, that is to take a connection. So like that, so these are the two, that is one set of data as a increasing the sales of a TV, that is which give the information or the estimation of future demand to number of cable connections increases or decreases. So this is called as a barometric techniques method. And next method in a statistical method, third one is simultaneous equation method. Simultaneous equation. In this, all variables are simultaneously considered with the conviction that every variable influences the other variable in economic environment. That is, every variable is considered as a, or it influences the other variable in an economic environment. So in this simultaneous equations, that is, we take two types of variables as a dependent and independent variable, because in the environment each and every variable is influenced by other variables. Hence, the set of equations equal the number of dependent variables. It is better than regression method. That is, in this method, the set of equations are equal the number of dependent variables. So it is better when comparing to regression method. It is a system of n equations with n unknowns. To follow in this simultaneous equation method, n equations with n simultaneous equation. In this, that is the dependent we take as a dependent variables and independent variables. So what are the number of dependent variables? What are the number of dependent variables, and how these dependent variables, or how the independent variable depending upon which type of independent variables. So for example, in the barometric techniques, we also explain about that is explained about that is the increasing in cable connection is depending upon the number of TV purchasings or number of new houses occupied. So like that, each and every product containing, so like the number of variables, like as a, for example, if you take as a, for a number of cable connections demand estimation, that is the demand of a number of cable connection is depending upon the number of new TVs purchasing or number of new houses occupied, and as well as income of customer increases. If the income of customer increases in a particular area, so automatically the TV purchasing increases, as well as the cable connections also increases. And one of the variable for this same situation is, that is, if the city is developed, so automatically population increases, so the demand for cable connections increases. So in this simultaneous equations, so if you take as a cable connection as a one of the system, one of the variable, so this variable is depending upon number of new TV purchases, and that is the number of new houses occupied, and as well as that is the increasing of customer income. So in this method, that is to plot all the equations, that is with the help of from this, that is which is the main system that is to consider, that system is called as a simultaneous equation method. And next one is a correlation and regression method. So correlation and regression method. Correlation describes the degree of association between two variables. Degree of association between two variables. When two variables tend to change together, then they are said to be correlated. When two variables tend to change together, then they are said to be correlated. Then they are said to be correlated. So in this correlation and regression method, if a high value of one variable is associated with a low value of another variable, it is said to be negatively correlated. If high value of one variable is associated with low value of another variable, it is said to be negatively correlated. For example, price and demand for the product. That relationship between, if you observe the relationship between price and demand, if the price increases, demand decreases. If price decreases, the demand increases. So the relationship between price and demand is negative. So it is called as a negatively correlated. If high value of one variable is associated with high value of another variable, it is said to be positively correlated. It is said to be positively correlated. For example, for, ex, for example, income and demand. Income and demand, that is the relationship between income and demand. If the income increases, the demand increases. If the income decreases, the demand also decreases. So the relationship between income and demand is, if income increases, demand also increases. If the income of the customer decreases, the demand also decreases. So the relationship between income and demand is positively correlated. Positively correlated. Where the functional relationship is analyzed with the independent variable, it is simple correlation. Where the functional relationship is analyzed with independent variable, it is simple correlation. If there are several independent variables, it is called multiple times correlation. If there are several independent variables, it is called as a multiple time correlation. In general, the correlation coefficient ranges between plus 1 and minus 1. The correlation coefficient ranges between plus 1 and minus 1. This correlation describes the degree of association between two variables. Like as a price and demand are the two variables, income and demand are the two variables. When two variables tend to change together, then they are said to be correlated. That means that if the one of the variable changes, automatically it affects on another variable. Like as a, if you take as a price and demand or income and demand, that is one increases, another decreases, or as well as increases. So that is the two variables tend to change together, then they are said to be correlated. So this correlation is measured by the help of a correlation coefficient. Sometimes the correlation occur as a positive, negative, positive correlation or negative correlation. In some situation, multiple correlation is occur. That is if the variable containing, that is the, there are several independent variable are available, so that is called as a multiple correlation. So in this correlation, that is if you take as a any type of the variable which containing dependent variables, that is the best example is if you take as a for increasing the cable connection, it is depending upon number of independent variables as a TV, the demand for TVs and demand for new houses. So these are the number of independent variables. So that is to make a relationship between these variables is called as a correlation. If correlation is zero, the variables are not related at all, which best fits in the sets of observation of dependent and independent variable. That is, if correlation is zero, the variables are not related at all, which best fits in the sets of observation of dependent. The dependent variable is forecast based on independent variable. The dependent variable, the demand is estimated by the help of a independent variable. In case of more than one independent variable having significant effect upon dependent variable, multiple linear regression is employed. If that is the, in case of more than one independent variable having significant effect on dependent variable, multiple linear regression is employed. So this is the correlation and regression method. So last one, that is the demand forecasting methods. The three types of methods are, first one is a survey method, and second one statistical method, and last one is a other methods. So in these other methods, the first type of the methods are expert opinion method. Expert opinion method. Expert means that is well informed persons are called as a experts. That is a well informed person, or that is a person who containing the complete knowledge about a particular product or a particular area. He is called as a expert. An expert is good at forecasting and analyzing the future trends in a given product or service. This method constitutes a valid strategy in case of new product if there is no other information is available. That is the expert opinion method. Means that is the, if the company take the help of a expert, the company takes the help of the expert for estimating the future demand, that is called as a expert opinion method. In general, this expert opinion method is used, that is we use the expert opinion method. That is the, if the company has no past data, the past data is not available in the company files. In this case, we use the expert opinion method. Or if the company is new or the product is new to the market, so in these situations, that is we adopt the expert opinion method. In general, expert means well informed person. That means that the person who containing the complete knowledge, a number of years experience in a particular product or service. So automatically he have the knowledge about at what situations the demand increases or at what situation the demand decreases, or the new product containing demand or not. So this type of information is given the expert by his experience or knowledge. So to consider his opinion, that is to estimate the future demand for a product. Next method is test marketing. Test marketing. It is likely that opinion given by buyers, salesmen, or other experts may be at times misleading is occur. Misleading is occur. That is the, if you take a expert opinion method, or that is the opinion of a buyers, the opinion or the survey of buyers or salesmen, so that type of the information in sometimes misleading is occur. So in these situations, most companies test markets before they launch the product nationwide. That is why if the company wants to launch the product in a nationwide, in some situations, that is, it adopt the test marketing method, because in some situations the survey method, survey of buyers intention, sales force opinion, expert opinion, if these all methods are not give accurate information to the company, and sometimes misleading is occur, in these situations, that is the most the company uses the test marketing product for launching their product nationwide. So the test marketing, the entire product and marketing program is tried out for the time in smaller number of well chosen and authentic sales environment. Authentic sales environment, to know whether the customer will accept the product or not. That is to test a particular market. Like as a, that is if you want to test a particular area, that is if you want to estimate the overall demand for a product, so you test only a particular city or particular area, and to introduce some few products in a particular area. So depending upon the sales in this particular area, that is to estimate about the future demand. For example, if you want to estimate the future demand for a product, what is the future demand for a product overall the country? So in these situations, you only introduce the products, or you only introduce the products in the main cities, like as a introduce in the capital cities of a country. So depending upon the sales in these capital cities, to estimate the future demand for a product. So such type of the testing about a particular market as a, if you take as a particular terrestrial areas or particular age groups, or the particular group of the customer, that is to estimate the future demand for a product. And that is the depending upon this authentic sales environment, the company know whether the customer will accept the product or not. And next method in other methods is a controlled experiments method. Controlled experiments method. In this method, the product is introduced with different packages, with different prices in different markets or same markets, to assess which combinations appeals to customer most. Which combination appeals to customer most. So in this controlled experiment method, if the company wants, that is for packaging the product, what attract the customer, what quantity, that is the it attract the customer. So in these situations, that is the company packaged different packages to different customers, and at the same time different prices, that is it fixed to different prices and implement it in different markets, as well as in some situations it introduce it in a same market, to assess which combination appeals to customer most. That is the customer appeals to customer most, that is which combination attracted to the customer. That is some group of, if you take as a some group of customers give importance to price, that means if the product is available with less price, they are ready to accept, but the customers are give preference to quality. So like that, that is for understanding or for taking the information about what combinations that a customer appeals to more. For this informations, that is to use the controlled experimental method. In this controlled experimental method, that is the company introduces different packages, like as a, if you take as a, some are 1 kg packs and some are only small sachets, so like that different packages, and fix the price as a different also. That is for some kg, for some bulk packages it fix the price as a high and comparing to small packages. So such type of different packages, different prices in different or same markets to assess which combinations appeals to customer most. And last method is judgmental approach method. Last method in a other methods is judgmental approach method. When none of the above method are directly related to give product, the management has no alternative other than using its own judgment. That is the if all the methods, if all the above methods like as a statistical survey, expert opinion, test marketing. So if all the methods are not give the correct information, and as well as that is if the company has no time, that is the company has no time and the company is not ready for spending money, for this all types of methods in these situations, that is the management is the final judgment. The management is act as a final judgment by his opinion, that is to estimate the future demand by his own judgment. He, that is by his opinion or by his own judgment to estimate the future demand, that is called as a judgmental approach method. So in this judgmental approach method, the management is the final decision maker. That is if the decision is right or wrong, and he is a final, the final, the organization final decision is depending upon the management of the organization. So this method is adopted when none of the above method are directly related to give product. The management has no alternative other than using its own judgments. In this situation, the company adopt judgmental approach method. So these are the different type of the other methods as expert opinion, test marketing, controlled experiment, and last one judgmental approach method. So these are the different types of a methods in a demand forecasting. The demand forecasting different methods are, that is the census, different methods are, that is opinion polling methods, statistical methods, and last one other methods. So this is the methods of demand forecasting. This topic is completed. Thank you.